year. Counting the struggle that influenced every decision. Taught me how to turn a giant to an ant. Put the boot on, ride with me, Kansas City the champ. I hear a lot about Missouri versus Kansas. Who's who, how they acting, and who the man is. What if I told you I'm letting time decide? We ain't really divided, they just profited from the lies. My parents is from both sides of the line. Mom, Sumner, a cat, Pop, Central High. Let's be breathe and try to create a new vibe in these times. In the place we reside, we call Kansas City. Kansas City. Kansas City. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love it. Kansas City. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love it. Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Kansas City, baby. JoBlaq.
Hey, we out here, man.
We out here with the one and only.
The one and only, yeah.
I'm with the vet. You know what I'm talking about? I'm with the vets out here. What we talking about, man?
The Dot's very own.
Hey,
Grammy nominated.
man, we here, man.
Yes, sir. It's good to be here.
Man, it's good to have you out here, man.
Yeah, it's good to be here, man. So, what's been good?
Man, just working, man. Trying to bring my talents from Los Angeles to Kansas City. You know, that's where where we birthed them anyway. So,
Yeah.
you know, fool around with guys like with fam right here. They push you to be the greatest you can possibly be.
Yeah.
And when you go out to the world, you realize, you know, what y'all were pushing us to be, man. We most definitely become that. So, I'm blessed, man. I can't complain.
Man, that's beautiful, man. It's beautiful seeing you doing big things, man. You got the Dot, man. We're proud.
Man,
Yeah, very
Proud of you, man.
that means more than anything for me. Like, I tell people, like, getting the love from the hometown is, especially from the Dot, always hold me down, and just to be able to be around family and the friends, that's what it's about, man.
Yes, sir.
Coming back showing us love. We appreciate it, man.
Man, I gotta show y'all love, man, all day.
Man, I was thinking too on, all day too. Well, now mostly for the last couple of days, I said, Joe's a great basketball player, great football player. When did the love for music kick in?
Man, it always was there. You know, I was trying to be cool though, you know. But, you know, I was raised in the church, my pops was a pastor, my mom's raised, she a preacher's kid too. And it's kind of one of those things, it's like, you're gonna learn how to play an instrument. My mom plays piano, so it was like, I would hear her every morning. I'm like, man, every morning before school, before we going into Coronado or, where we was going, it was always music playing. So it was just, my sister sang, everybody in my family's musical. So, it was always there. I just was trying to be on my cool steez.
Man, that's what I was thinking too. I said, man, when did Joe get into that music, man? Because I know when you went off to college and hooped.
Yeah.
And then I think I ran into you one time. You came back and you said you had got into the music.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy.
That's good stuff though, man. It's good stuff.
Man, I hear you keep saying something about church. You still go back to that same church you grew up in?
Man, my pops passed away a couple years ago, about 3 years ago, and so that was one of my things, is like coming back to Kansas City to be with family. I was living a great life out in LA, and we still got places out there, and I can go back whenever I want. But when the pandemic happened, it really kind of like shifted my focus. And I was just like, man, I want to get back to that thing, like going to be able to go to my uncle's church, Mount Carmel, We go to Mount Carmel and see the family, see the friends, and or go to my dad's church over at St. James when he was there, and just to be able to go and touch those familiar places that make me feel like home. You know what I mean? Those places, they ain't ever going to switch up on you. The people ain't going to switch up on you.
Yeah, I always got love for you there.
Man, always, man. Always.
Man, what's that California life like, man? You hear about the cost of living out there. It's crazy, man, compared to here. You being a dot boy, K-Town, you know what I'm saying? How was it adjusting to going out there?
Oh, man. It costs. Yeah. I ain't going even front, but I always want to make sure that I say this, like, Earl and growing up, Earl introduced me to Barron when I was young. When we teenagers, Barron used to be in Kansas City. Barron found out from Earl that I was doing music. Barron called me, BD called me one day and was like, listen, bro, you're too talented to be in Kansas City. He was like, I got a house in LA. You can stay with me. Let's work on this music. Let's do this. And I was like, you for real? He's like, man, I promise you. You know, BD connected. He like P Diddy of LA. You know.
Yeah.
So Barry, man, he really was the one who like just like, yo, come out. I live with BD, and he put me on game, and you know, and he really opened up the door for me to be able to even get to these spots because it's expensive out there. And so BD like really opened up the door. He showed me love. He asked no questions. He was like, yo, he believed in the craft. He believed in what I was doing. And so I always send out a big shout out to him because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be out there like that.
Yeah, that's what's up for real.
Yeah. Mr. BD.
Yeah, BD, man. One of the
Oh,
coldest
man.
PGs.
Man,
Yeah.
UCLA finals.
Man, for real. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but for real though, the album's out. Blaqgold,
Yeah.
a banger.
Man.
I got a few favorites on there.
Okay. I like to hear that.
One of them's My Prayer.
Ah, yeah.
You talking about your son on there.
Yep.
It struck home with me because, you know, I got a little man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know my little man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, tell them a little bit about the album.
Man, the album was really me getting to a point where I was just like, I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm not gonna try to fit in any trends or I'm gonna speak and I'm gonna talk about what is true to me, true to where I'm from. And it was one of those things I was like, man, it took us, we had the album for a little bit, but I'm really particular on music and putting it out. I want it to be right. I don't want it to be just, you know, just throw it out there and then we'll see what happens. And so I was just like, man, we sat on it for maybe a whole year. I really got it done throughout the pandemic. And it was just me speaking with my heart, man. Like, you know, the team at the time I was like, man, I was talking through everything, but I was like, I just want to be transparent. I want to talk my stuff on here. And it ended up being what I wanted it to be. And it just, you know, I didn't expect what happened to happen. I just knew, I was like, I know the music can speak for itself. And I was like, got to the point where like, I'm just gonna release it, you know. And they were like, if you don't release this album, we're gonna put it out ourselves. It got to that point. But when I released it, I was like, man, whatever's gonna happen. And just to see that was it for me. The love that I got from this album, and like people hitting my line. I mean, the homies hit me up in tears, you know, about my dad's song. Like, man, you know, bro, you messed me up with that one. You know, it's just like, and even my prayer talking about my son. And it's like, you know, those are the things that hit home for me. You know, and those are the things I want to talk. I'm not gonna talk about, you know, Cat we got a little money out here and there, but man, that ain't, you know, that ain't my thing to talk about. You know? So.
Man, it's well put together, man. Like I said, it's got the ingredients is another one I like. It's well put together, man. It really is, man. So,
what was the first record that you put out here that took off, that you really got acknowledged for, that you think took you off the ground?
Of my own or just?
That you helped the artist with and of your own.
So it was, I would have to say it was Ariana Grande. Like honestly, I didn't, you know, like I tell the story all the time, like I didn't know who Ariana Grande was.
Wow.
I just knew, my homeboy was like, bro, I need you to come work on this project with me. Can
you tell what song that was that took off for her?
It was, so what happened was, so we were in the studio recording. I guess they had an issue with, not an issue, it was just like, you know, she wasn't feeling anything that she was doing. And we finally had got to the point, and the first song I think they recorded was I Love the Way with her and Mac Miller, rest in peace. Wow. And then the song that came after that next was the one Right There with her and Big Sean.
Wow.
And so that's when, like, I was in the studio with Ari like probably like 4 or 5 months straight. It was just me and her. I recorded most of the stuff. I did all the vocal production for her album and for the songs that we did and stuff. And I didn't realize that she was like who she was until she dropped the picture online. And you know, and my Instagram went crazy. And I was like, what? Yeah. It's crazy, you know. And so like the power of social media, I figured out that quick. Because when she dropped, she just posted a picture of me and her in the studio working. It was like, I probably had like 10,000 followers within like 30 minutes.
Have you worked with any rappers out here?
I have, man. I've been able to. I'm connecting with D-Walk right now.
Where's he from?
He from here. He from
Really?
from Kansas City. He got that freaky block tails. That's him. He's super dope. I've connected with a few dope rappers out here, man. We got some. I got a what's his name? YG. I really rock with YG, man. I think he dope. And it's a few other cats out here. Irv the Phenom. He's man super dope. And there's a couple super dope artists, man, from Wyandotte County for real.
Do you think it's harder being a rapper right now in these days than it was back then?
I think maybe yeah.
It's just the stuff you portray, probably.
I think it's easier. Let me take that back. I think it's easier. I think that it's easier for the standpoint of like you don't really need a label anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can drop a record online and that mug go crazy.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, like you get lucky and hit a TikTok wave, and you like, oh shoot, you got record labels calling you like, yo, we want to sign you. You know, and so I've seen it happen plenty of times, and so it's kind of one of the things. Is like, man, you actually can really put yourself on. But I always tell people it's about the quality of the music too.
That's very true.
So
We had Chris Dunlap on a couple of weeks ago.
Young legend.
Yeah, Dunlap. And he was talking about like the NFTs and all that stuff and how it's easier for artists to make their own money and they don't have to really deal with the labels and stuff no more. So, I mean, that's big. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of artists, you know, growing up back in the day, they were getting robbed. You know, they wasn't getting their just dues, you know what I'm saying? They didn't really know how to sign contracts and stuff either, so they was getting.
And I tell people that all the time. Like, I went through that, you know, when I signed my first publishing deal. It was a trash deal, you know. I worked through it, did whatever I had to do. You know, I was in that deal for almost close to 10 years. And like trying to figure out how to get out, and it was just a bad deal. But I'm telling, now I'm in a business standpoint, I'm looking at things from a business standpoint. I'm like, man, why did I even sign that deal? Really, you know, I should have had I know I needed that money. It was a quick 150, you know what I mean? I was like, I'm in my mid-20s, like, I need 150, cool. I'm like, all right, shoot, we winning.
Shit, who wouldn't have signed it?
Yeah.
Taxes back then.
I wasn't thinking about taxes back then, you know? So I'm like, shoot, go on, pass that check, you know? But those are the things like now I'm like, all right, before I go on anything, the contract got to be right. And I won't let nobody rush me into doing that. Before it's just like, you know, the money going to be there. We always going to make money. But it's just like getting the deals solidified and locked in is the most important part, you know, so.
I want to back up on something too with all the you know, you say Ariana Grande. Let them, tell them about some of the other artists that you work with, because your list is pretty strong.
It's
pretty
deep,
strong.
Yeah. So I've done Ariana Grande, Justin Bieber. That was super dope. Jill Scott. Who else? Diana Ross.
Oh,
Wow.
legend.
Like, man, what? I will be honest, that was one person I was starstruck over. It was just like the nostalgia of it was like, this Diana Ross, this Beyonce before Beyonce, you know. And my father and my mom, they love their music. I'm blessed to I executive produced LaToya Luckett album, which was super dope. Jordan Sparks.
Wow.
Man, it's been a lot of people, man.
You work with some dope people, man. Some legendary people too, man. And you also did work on the project on Empire.
Oh yeah, that was fun. And I got to the beauty of that one was I got to work with a producer that I had kind of admired for years, which was Rodney Jerkins. And so Rodney actually, you know, because the work that I did for Ariana, he was like, yo, I want you over here with me, come rock with me. And so it was just dope, man. Like, you know, this producer you grow up watching on MTV Cribs, like, yo, you got the thing, you got the Bentley, you got everything, you know what I mean? And then they calling you and like, Joe, they hit me personally, they FaceTime you. I'm like, dang, you know, Rodney Jerkins FaceTime me, it's crazy. Those are things that I'm like, those are moments in life. I'm like, man, it's crazy, bro.
It's crazy, man. Who was you, like, when you got into that celebrity world, who was that first person you seen like, oh shit, damn. I see you on TV, it's like,
Yeah.
like, who was that first person?
Man, who was that? Man, who was the first person? I'm like, dang, you really hanging out?
Yeah.
That's the other way around.
Yeah,
You like that.
Yo, what are you doing? What you doing? Man, the first person that I was like that with, I'm trying to think who it was, man. I'll tell you a funny story. It was like, E. Watson, I think he had like a club he was part owner of a club in LA. And he was like, bro, let's go to the spot. So we end up going. And this is when I realized I was in a whole different world. And we pull up, we get in the club, everything cool. And what's his name from Above the Rim, Dwayne Martin.
Yeah.
He the homie, so he's showing love and he's like, oh, we in the back. And we go to the back. Bro, it's me, of course, Earl, Denzel Washington.
Wow.
Brandy, Dwayne, and it was somebody. Oh, and then I had she's like the Lady Gaga of Japan. Her name is AI, and she was with me, and so we were just out there, and we was just sitting like, you go to the club and you with your people. It was like, oh, am I really sitting with Denzel? It was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And so that was like, I think that was one of the moments that I was like, man, it's just wow, And really, Ariana Grande was probably the first person that, like, when I got to know, and then I got to, now we look at her now, she's a megastar. I'm like, Don, I was with her every day.
Yeah.
For almost 4 or 5 months straight, just working. And just to see that, like, man, I know you're a Nickelodeon star, but you that deal, what I mean? So I think that was like the one that I was like, really like, all right, we doing something, man.
Yeah.
Is there any new upcoming artists that you're working with right now that we need to keep an eye out for?
Yeah, a young lady named Haley. She's super dope. I think.
You got a link for it? We can leave.
Yeah. What's your link? What's your link to your? Go on, say it.
We'll leave it up in
What's
there.
What's your IG?
I am Haley Brooke.
I am Haley.
Brooke. Okay. We'll leave a link up there.
Yeah, leave a link up there, and like literally, she's super talented. I'm trying to do something different. I don't want to just go through labels anymore. If I'm gonna do anything, I want to do a joint venture deal with a label. But I want to build my own empire. I want to have my own Motown, And so having artists like Haley and like to come in and be on board and be able to work on their projects.
That was her song was playing when we came in. Yeah, she's nice.
Yeah, she's super
very
nice. Yeah, and then Sweet, Sweet Twist, she be doing the dreads. Man, I'll tell you, her album that we doing is so crazy, and I'm excited to launch artists that the world will get introduced to soon, and I think that's where you really make your mark in the game by breaking an artist that people may not know yet, but they'll soon to know. So,
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Far as you being busy and doing all this, man, we talked about your son earlier. How do you balance family time?
I'm still learning that one. Because, I mean, this, like, this time is important for our sons. And even if you have a son or a daughter, it's an important time for, especially what's happened yesterday,
The week before that.
And the week before that, it's just like, you never know what happens. And I told them yesterday, I had to pause for the calls, and I went home for a quick second. And I just had to grab my son, bro, and just be like,
you say that.
Yeah, man, like it was a real deal. Like there ain't no faking. It was real me looking at my son, and like literally, he's not even 4 yet. He'll be 4 next month. I'm looking at him and say, man, if you see a gun, I'm holding him like a baby, and like he's taking me serious. I'm like, you see a gun, I'm crying. I'm like, you see a gun, you run. And so like I'm like, man, think about those people that they don't get to go home with their babies.
In the age they work, man, that's
is like crazy. So it really put a crazy perspective, and I've been trying to do more things like, this music can wait because family is important.
Yes,
you know
very.
What I'm saying? And I'm having to understand that's a balance. Like as men, we want to take care of the family and make sure we provide, and then make sure we always keep. I'm not trying to keep up with no Joneses, but I do want my son to have the things that I didn't have. But at the same time, teach him the value of hard work, listening, and standing on your word.
Yeah.
We asked you this question, and me and him was just talking about this. After your son or daughter graduates, do you give them an expiration date from being at home, or do you keep them closer to you till they figure out what they want to do?
I'm a sucker. So me, I just feel like because we be working, like even when I was, I had to look at everything from my father to me perspective, right? I gave my father a hard time.
I did too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you ain't boom, boom, boom. And then I became a man, and I'm like, oh shoot, being a man ain't easy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I was tripping with my pops about all this stuff. And then I go back to my mind like, yo, he was doing a lot. Cause now I'm having to do half of what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm realizing like, man, like I gotta give them grace, but at the same time, we still there to, kind of help them, guide them. At the same time, they gotta go through their own labor, their own pains through life. But at the same time, it's like, man, it's still like, I don't wanna let go of that reign. Like, let me help you, you gotta go, So.
Yeah, because I was telling him too, we was talking about like in our community, sometimes, we push our kids out too soon.
Yeah.
And like I was telling him, it could become like a generational curse because we just throw them out here and they're not prepared. You know what I'm saying?
The streets will kill them.
The streets eat them up. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of a negative about our community.
Yeah.
That's you know what I'm saying? We gotta do a better job at keeping them close until they're really ready to go. But also teaching them independency too.
Yeah.
You don't want to baby them. We still want to teach you, but we can still kind of teach you when you still close.
That's 100%.
Instead of just throwing you out there like that.
And I think that's super important. I think that happened to me. I was like, when I got back from playing ball, I was overseas for a little bit playing and stuff, and I got back, and my mom was like, oh yeah, you gotta figure this out. And I was like, what? What you mean? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, what you mean figure this out? I'm like, yeah, baby. She's like ready to move on. And
Did she give you a timeline?
yeah, oh yeah. She's like,
Either have a job or something, or you got to be gone.
she's like, yeah, you gonna have to find your own place to stay. And I was like, what? That was like, all right. It forced me into like, all right, I gotta figure out and do what I gotta do, and that made me, experiment. Like, I'm gonna go try this. I'm gonna go do this, and I'm on.
You still in the basketball lane at this time?
Yeah, I was still in the basketball lane, and then I had to switch, like going from hooping, that being my life, to
Transitioning.
I'm going to work at U.S. Bank as a personal banker. Like, where they do that at? You know what I mean? Like, I'm used to my freedom.
Yeah.
And then like trying to just adjust the corporate world, and then I got a call from a guy named Daryl Gilmore, and he was like, "Man, come learn how to do mortgages," and that's like it helped me create. While I was learning how to be my own, a businessman, But shoot, that was a struggle,
Yeah. Yeah, for real, man. Because I mean, when I graduated, man, and I didn't go off to college or nothing, my mama said, "You got to get a job."
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah,
or you gonna get the hell out of here.
right?
It wasn't no sugarcoating around. It was you gonna get a job.
Pay on the bill.
Yeah. You gonna pay some bills too. You ain't about to be standing here. You gonna get on a bill.
Yep.
Or help with a bill or something, it wasn't you gonna be sitting around here. She was straight up blunt. You gonna get a job, you get the hell out of here.
Right.
Shit.
But you know what? That's because I always tell this part of the game. I'm like, yo, listen. Like as a Black community, a lot of us didn't have the luxury to be able to stay with mom and dad because they just wanted to live. They wanted to get free because they struggled so hard. You look at. I look at my white friends, their parents are like, yeah, stay here as long as you want until you figure it out. Actually, we gonna start a business just for you. And then you take over this business and you know what I mean? So like those are things that I'm like, that's how I want to set it up for my son.
That's
You know what I'm saying? Like right now I'm set up where like something happened to me, like my son good.
Yeah.
I don't want him just to be like, oh, here's some money to throw money at it. I want him to understand the value and take pride in saying like, I'm working for this, so I'm not gonna just give you a million and you be like, I'm gonna sit back and do whatever I want. I want you to like, yo, respect the money because the money gonna respect you if you respect it. So.
Yeah. And that's another thing too, is back to what we had Chris Dunlap on the show too, talking about the financial literacy is not really taught in our Black community.
At all.
You know what I'm saying? I don't remember ever in school them telling us about no credit cards or nothing. I remember getting a credit card as soon as I got out of school. couple of them, man, maxing out was like the hell with it. I didn't think
Right.
paying nothing back. I'm swiping at Indian Springs. I'm getting CDs. I'm at JW 2 for 35, man. I'm just like, and not even thinking about, hey, I gotta pay this, this stuff back.
Yeah.
Man. But,
He's just thinking it's
and
free
then,
money.
yeah, and then at the same time killing my credit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But nobody never taught us about that economics and stuff in school. That's what kind of hurts in the Black community right now.
It's a huge hindrance to us because it's one of those things like I learned from a Jewish friend of mine. Like he like, man, I live off credit cards. I'm like, what you mean? He just gave me the game on credit cards. He's like, I looked at it as a bad thing. I'm like, man, I'm a swipe. Like you said, I got that credit card too. I'm a swipe. I done visited. I'm visiting some chick in Iowa. It's like, like, let's go.
Yeah.
And then I realized, I gotta pay that back. And like you said, it hit that credit, but he looked at it like, I'm glad you spend it. All you gotta do is pay it back because it's gonna build your credit. Keep doing that over and over and over. Next thing you know, you look up, you got a 700 credit score, and they gonna give you money. And I didn't understand like
For free.
And then I had to realize like, oh, they judging our credit off of the DTI. So they like, oh this credit card got a $500 limit. This one have $15,000 limit. They looking at that as your credit, like your DTI, not the money that you actually make. Because I'm like, I make good money. Why my DTI look like that? They don't care about none of that. They like, oh, you got this credit card that got 70,000 on it or 40,000 on it. You like, that's creating a gap for your income. And those are things that I didn't learn till, late in my early 30s.
Yeah. And I mean, that's, and
You play with your money when you play with theirs.
They do it all the time. They do it all the time.
And I'm just now learning this.
So I'm looking at, I don't want no loan. Man, they just know how to work it. And that's the difference between teaching the value of setting yourself up and the value of money and the value of how the system is set up. So
that's a big part of it.
You teaching any classes or anything with the youth coming up this summer or anything?
Yeah, I just got done with a class with De La Salle, however, I don't want to get no and that was exciting, man. That was super liberating for me because those are programs that we didn't have growing up, and so.
What exactly was the program?
It's an audio engineering program, so I'm teaching them audio engineering. They get to learn how to, record and mix, master, and man, just to see the power of music and these maybe kids people may deem as misfits or hard to, they throwing them away. They got ADD or ADHD or whatever they want to call it. But I realized I'm like, no, I just gave them something to do that they love and they were focused on doing it, and it was fun for them. And they respected me. I didn't have no problems out of none of them. And I didn't have to raise my voice out. And when I did, they got it and they're like, yes, Joe, Mr. Joe, you right, bro. You right. And it was respect, mutual respect. So shout outs to Mr. Stalin for bringing me in on that. So
is this something you're gonna keep on doing, or?
Yeah, that's where my heart is. Like, I just believe that I was blessed to have an opportunity. And so my mentor always told me, like, I ain't asking you for nothing back. All I'm asking you to do is to keep paving it forward and give the knowledge to the next kid so we can keep this thing going. And so I want, we're setting it up now where we can do our audio engineering and coding class and broadcasting and podcasting.
Yes. I may be attending that.
Yeah. Like it's just super important for our community because I'm watching kids in LA that are 15, 16 make millions of dollars.
Just saying that too.
Doing, shooting content and making funny videos. So, why can't the kids in Kansas City and Wyandotte County do the same thing?
They can too, cause man, my son get up on Saturday mornings, man. He literally watched this YouTuber just play video games, and this dude got like 13 million followers.
Yeah, like you just watching him play. Why don't you play the game yourself? You know what I mean?
They rather watch him.
And
dude sitting on 13 million followers.
And he's sitting on
subscribers.
He might be sitting on 13 million too. You know what I mean? For real, like that's crazy. Like I was telling him, like I'm setting up where the kids can do gaming because I'm like, I heard there's big money in gaming. Like, well, let me set up the kids, let them do something that they really want. Everybody don't want to go work a 9 to 5. Not everybody's gonna be qualified or want to go to college, and I'm not telling them to take away from that, but it's just like everybody. Some things are just not for everybody. Some people want to be entrepreneurs and they want to say, man. Because at the end of the day, that's how I look at it. That's the whole point of going to college anyway, so you can set yourself up for the future. if they can do it at 14, 15 and have millions, go to school on your own terms.
Yeah.
You know, that I can pay for school myself. That's how I'm envisioning it. So I'm not knocking school, but go to school. But I just think it's important to show them a different way and let them know that it is capable.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah, on that. I definitely agree. We had that talk on the podcast the other day, Saturday, that it's pushed a lot of times that if you don't go to college, you fail. You haven't failed, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's not in college. You know, it just, like I said, it don't matter what you do. Just get in your lane.
Yep.
Stay in your lane. And like I said, parents support them no matter what they do.
Yep.
If they warehouse, if they go to a call center, just let them get in their lane and let them figure it out and support them. You know what I'm saying? And they'll figure it out.
They will.
You know what I'm saying? Because we figured it out.
We
know
did.
what I'm saying? When they told us, hey, we got to figure it out or you going to or else.
You got to think it real quick.
It's like, hey, you gonna swim here? I'm push you underwater, and you gonna figure it out, and you going down for real.
Now being you know, we from Wyandotte, you know, we from the K-Cal and the KCK League, and all that stuff, man. And USD 500 school district, it ain't the same.
I heard.
It ain't the same, man, Joe.
Man,
it's like, man, the school attendance is down, sports is down. Ain't nobody coming to the games no more.
Friday night games used to be the stuff for us.
man, it looked like above the rim, bro.
Man.
Like, I went to a game like this year. I took my son because I'm like, I wanted him to see where I come from, but I also wanted him to have a passion for basketball, but not pressing it on him.
Yeah.
I went and I was like disappointed.
Yeah.
You know, like disappointed because, like you said, it wasn't packed. The Wyandotte and Washington game.
No, that's all you had to have was them two schools. Everybody was gonna be there.
I mean, like, I felt like I was somebody, like, you know, starting, you know, like, oh, we coming out, we turning off the lights before we come out. It's packed. People, like, if you don't get there by 6, 7 o'clock, you ain't getting in. Like, I'm like, I walk there, I go, well, we gonna get there late. I'm thinking we gonna have a struggle getting in. It's like, oh, come on in.
You can walk right in. You can literally get out work late now and just walk right in, right to start the varsity game and sit front row.
It's real facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Because that's exactly what we did, too.
Because when we was in school, Joe, you know, if you wasn't there by first quarter of the JV game, the doors are locked.
It's over. Good luck.
It's locked. You're not getting in there.
Get the cut, go get them Jordans before you come. Get them early.
Get
Skip
early.
school, whatever you gotta do.
Skip school.
Right.
You gotta skip school to get them Jordans. You gotta get on back.
Right.
Now you ain't make it to the JV game. You're not seeing nobody. You're not playing. They locked the doors.
For real. It was
what
one
I'm
of
saying?
it was, I mean, like, no room.
Man.
I mean, if you went to Wyandotte, you go to the pit, packed. You come Watch House, packed. Sligo, packed. It's like, yo, I would look forward to them times. That was like, that, man, for me was, and just to be able growing up to go to the games and watch Jabo and them play and Vinny and them play. Man, like, yo, this is Chris Williams. You know, all them guys, man, that made me be like, that's what I want to do. I'm gonna be able to play in front of all these people one day.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
That was crazy. I want to ask you this too, man. We was a little disappointed, man. You know, Coronado Coat.
Yep.
Coronado Coat.
Yep.
How the hell we didn't get you at Sligo?
He didn't want to go slag up.
Geez, Joe.
I know, man.
God, that was crushing. You know Jack wanted you down there.
Yeah, you know
There
what?
you go.
Honestly, man, that was a hard decision because initially I wasn't going to either. I was going to go to Rockhurst because that's where my brother went, and you know, that was E. Watson, man. He came and man, they ain't got no girls, bro.
That is right. That is right.
Oh, man.
No girls or the clothes,
man,
huh?
you know we was known
They
for the
wasn't dressing
girls.
either, right?
You know Sligo was known for the girls, Joe. They was former coach.
Right. So he's like, man, come, and he's like, you could probably start varsity. You can start varsity. I'm telling you. So I was like, yeah, I want to start. I don't want to.
I'm glad somebody told the truth about it, Joe. Thank you.
Yeah.
Man.
But y'all, Sligo had, Sligo.
Man, 'cause
beautiful thing.
if you would have came up there, man.
It'd have been a different, because you know what, I said, I'm telling you that all the time. If I hadn't went to Sligo, I would have played football. And I think that would have, you know, my life probably would have been a lot different. Because I believe football, I think, was maybe stronger than basketball. I hear that a lot. But, you know, I got Coach Bauman always been like, you can't play both, you know? And So I'm out into that concept. Reality of it is playing both sports is super important. If I hadn't went to Slaco, I would have been playing. I've been on that football field with my bros.
Oh yeah.
And we would have been tearing stuff up.
Oh yeah, man. I said I gotta ask Joe this. I told JJ I was gonna ask you.
Yeah. All my people were there. I was like, yeah, everybody going in. But y'all was stacked though. I was like, I want to come in here and play. I don't want to be on no JV. I want to, not that I didn't want to be on JV. I just was like, Earl said, you can start.
Yeah.
I will run the 2, you run the point guard. I'm like, oh yeah, let's go.
Man, y'all was a hell of a combo.
Man, that was good times, man.
Y'all took Marcus and Rodney from us.
Yeah, y'all, Joe pushed him out of there. we got Marcus and Rodney to come down there though, man. Because damn, if y'all would have kept them, man, you, Marcus, Rodney, God, y'all was loaded.
We was loaded.
I was already loaded when they left.
Man, for real.
Yeah, because y'all ended up beating them both times, right?
Yep. Earl didn't play about that. We gonna win this game.
Yeah.
He was serious.
Earl was serious when he left that.
What?
He took it personal. Man.
Everybody getting cussed out if we ain't doing what we supposed.
Yeah, right. I'm telling you, them was some days though, man.
It really was.
Sears building.
Sears building.
Sears parties.
Man, they the ones that got me throwing parties now. Look.
Come on, man.
Come on. Angie Polk and all the girls, the crew. Slaco Spiders, man. Come on, them parties was it.
Yeah.
That's how it was the Sears, and then we shifted from Sears to
Party, we was everywhere, Joe. We was Hot Summer Nights.
Hot Summer Nights.
Wow, I forgot about that.
Riding JJ's Cutlass.
Right. JJ, shout out to JJ, man. That's my friend, bro.
I shout out to JJ too, man, because I ain't gonna lie, man. He was driving us all around to these parties, man. And if my mama knew some of the places we was, and we was way over town, man, I probably wouldn't even be doing this podcast right now. I'd probably be dead. You know what I'm saying? She knew we was out where we was at. I told her, she think we around the corner.
Right the corner. You on Prospect.
I'm on Prospect Party House. Shit.
JJ kept a car too, boy. He kept a whip, bro.
He kept a whip, boy. Kept us going, man. I shout out to JJ for getting us around when we didn't have no whips, man. We was at all the hot parties, all the hot spots, man. Joe.
Was it Kensington?
Kensington?
Wow.
Remember them parties at Kensington, man? God, man, they don't.
That was the time.
There was some times, man. We used to kick it, man.
What was it? Roadhouse Rubies? Was it
Roadhouse Rubies?
Yeah.
Even the rink used to pop.
The rink was it, bro. I went to the skate rink the other day. I was like, it ain't the same. But that was like, I was Skateland DJ. I was like, man, I'm gonna be up in here a little bit. I think I still got it. I need the skates. I gotta buy some skates. That's the thing. I'm like, I know I got it because, man, that's just like riding a bike. But
yeah,
I remember little Virgil. Who was
Virgil was a DJ, wasn't he?
Yep, me and Virgil was DJ at Skateland. We used to trade off Saturdays. Little Stevie, I think is his name. Little Stevie. White dude. What's the white dude that could skate? Larry.
Okay.
Larry, he could skate cold. We were always in there, doing our thing. Take the skates off at 10:30, 11 o'clock. Out there dancing. That's how it went down.
Skates at 10:30, 11, man.
It was freak time at that time.
I'm telling you, man. It's crazy. You're gonna be doing some freaky stuff, or you knew it was gonna be a fight breakout.
Yeah. One of the two. Probably sometimes both.
Yeah. For real though, man. But that's good stuff though, man. Any future projects you got coming up?
I'm working on. I'm gonna do another album, man. I'm gonna give some more, some R&B vibes. I'm gonna take it there with them. Go a little deeper with the R&B vibes, and starting to work on this JoBlaq album too. So
okay,
wow.
Yeah, I'm excited to kind of pin some joints for him and get him hopefully get some hits for him and be able to drop some singles with him. So.
You get to bring them to your house, or do you got to go to their house when you work with them?
Man, that's why I built this so they can come here. So I'm like, man, it's time for the switch to happen for people to start coming to Kansas City instead of me having to always run out to them. They can come to me.
Thanks for bringing them here.
Man. Yeah, like Haley, she flew in from Louisiana, Shreveport.
Yeah.
And just I've had everybody. I've had some.
I seen you brought Luda here.
Yeah, Luda, that's my boy. Luda's my guy, man. He was here. He was doing the tacos and tequila, and so he was just like, whenever he pulled, he's like, bro, I'm here. Pull up on me, and so yeah, that's my guy, man. Him and his cousin Drizzy, man. They're my people, man. So yeah, man.
Thank you again for putting on for the town, man. We need something like this here.
Man, for real though, man.
There's a lot of people doing their thing. Like you got the Chris Down Last, man, Vic Williams. I look at a lot of people that we came up with, man, and I see like, man, we really putting on for the hometown, man. Really giving back and really making a change out here, and that's what it's about, man. I grew up watching y'all, like, man, I'm gonna make it. I'm make sure we, do this.
It's like, you know what I'm saying, I know that more projects are going on, like they do the thing on Quindera with all the black vendors and stuff, man. So it's just a lot of stuff, some dope black stuff, people just doing a lot of great entrepreneur stuff right now, man. That I think the pandemic, you know what I'm saying, kind of made people realize, hey, we can do this stuff, or we can be an entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying, because they had more time to think. And a lot of people created their business, you know what I'm saying, through the pandemic, you know.
And I think people realize that, we look at having a 9-to-5 as comfort. And I think when the pandemic happened, they realized like, oh, them companies are like, oh, you fired, we can't keep you. And like, you have all your trust in that, thinking, I got the 401k and I'm gonna be straight. But the reality of it is, it's like sometimes you gotta create your own business, and can't nobody hire you or fire you. You know what I mean? Like
that's where I'm at.
And that's kind of where I'm at now. Like the pandemic taught me, like, man, I don't want nobody to tell me that I'm fired or I can't do this or I can't do that.
I want to be the person calling those shots.
Yeah. Why would I put my life and my family's life in someone else's hands like that? And I think it taught us we have the ability to create things in the market, just like we go to Walmart to get pencils and all this other stuff, or candles. I've seen a lot of my homegirls setting up their own candle shop, and like their candles is better than the candles we getting from the store. I'm like, so they making good money off just selling candles. And if you grind it out, you look up, man, I got to spend more time with my family and less time being at work building somebody else's empire. And that's how I looked at it. I'm like, man, I done made a lot of people money, and so I'm gonna continue making them money and working for them, and they giving me the minor salary or a minor payout for something that they're making millions of dollars off of.
When you created your own lane, did you have a lot of family members coming to you like, put me on, or can I work for you, or don't they need to know how to do something, or do you just give them a job and tell them, how do you handle that?
I look at it like, if somebody passionate about something, because like my family, they always on my head, like, you should be working with us. Something.
I know you probably get that a lot.
And I want to work with family, but sometimes family think they can cut corners. And I'm just not like, this is still a business. Treat it like a business, because you're not going to
come in when they want.
You're not going to any of these corporations doing that. And you go work for Cerner, and they're gonna require you to be there from 8 to 8, and if you ain't there, they're like, you fired. Treat that and take that same mindset in when you come in and doing what we building our own. Because you get to take more of this than you're going to get to take of a Cerner or a Walmart or wherever it is. So,
Man, that's dope too, man. And a lot of times, and you hate to say it, but a lot of times strangers and stuff support you more than your own family and friends will, man.
That's the crazy thing.
You know what I'm saying? You can get on social media and say, okay, I got the job, and get 1,000 likes. And then you can get on social media and say, hey, I started my own business, and get 5 likes.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. That's
or
real.
I've lost my job, and you get 1,000 people saying I pray for you. They praying for you because you lost your job, but you got 1,000 likes and everybody care now.
Yeah.
But when you say I open up my own business or I'm doing something, you get 5 or 6 likes.
Yeah. I take it even a step further. It's like, I watch people like support and donate to things that they don't have no connection with. And nothing against the Black Lives Matter movement, but them people, to me, I looked at that, I'm like, it's Black Lives Matter, but Wyandotte County, we gonna raise some funds. Let's raise it for Wyandotte County and the kids in Wyandotte County. Let's raise it for the kids in the southeast, area, or the kids that's in Jackson County. Let's raise money for that. And we have such an issue with donating or giving to our own, and we'll invest in some Black Lives Matter stuff, and then people then went out and bought a mansion in LA. You know what I'm saying? But what about the infrastructure here in Kansas City? What about the kids in Wyandotte County? We could have figured out our own fund. Like we all can donate. If it's 10, 20 of us, and we say we're gonna do $100 a month to this, that's we raising money. You know what I mean? And we can give that back to our communities and start rebuilding our communities. That's what's important. But we get because it's home, we think like, I've never got that though.
I never did neither, man, because we so caught up in, our vote this don't matter, this and that don't matter, and then, kids ain't got nowhere to swim in Wyandotte County. Thank God they opened the pool back there now.
I just seen that too.
We don't have you go out of town, coaching AU, I've looked, they got all these sports complexes for kids, and what Wyandotte County got?
Man.
Soccer fields.
Soccer fields, man. And that's on us.
Yeah.
That's on us because you know what? My Latina and Spanish brothers and sisters, they go out and they like, listen, we're gonna do the work that y'all used to do.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't wanna do that work.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
We're gonna do that, we're gonna send that bread back, to where we from. They're gonna triple up on that money. Mm-hmm. Man, I did an interview, shout out my guy Charles, he's from Africa, he's from Gambia.
Really?
Yeah, he did an interview with me, man. He was telling me this. For every one of our US dollars is $50.
In Africa?
Yeah.
Really?
In Gambia.
You been to Africa?
I haven't. But I'm going now because he shook me up. I said, hold on, bro. Every dollar is a $50? He said, for every dollar is $50 in Gambia.
Well, Africa got some ballers over there too.
Man, they bred it up. So I'm thinking, shoot, you can take $20,000. What's that like?
May not come back.
But I'm saying like those are things that like I'm thinking about like, man, like, well, why ain't we thinking about this stuff? Like, why ain't we thinking about, I know we love America and I do, but it's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and how can we maximize our dollar?
Yeah, especially in our own community, man. Mm-hmm. You look at all the Latinos and all that, they building up their community down through Wyandotte County. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then people get on Facebook and complain about, Wyandotte County ain't doing this, but y'all don't show up to no meetings. Y'all don't vote. Support the kids.
Don't nobody want to vote. They vote don't matter. I don't.
Hell, as a basketball coach, a former basketball coach in Wyandotte County, I know for a fact, hell, you don't even want to barely pick up the kids and take them home from practice.
Ain't that crazy?
And support them, or even come to the games.
Ain't that crazy?
They'll drop them off before the doors is even open and be gone.
Yeah.
And that's the issue. That's we got like babies raising babies, and it's like that's the frustrating thing, and that's those things that I'm like, man, I can't be like that with my son because I don't want to just drop him off to somebody. Oh, he's going to preschool. No, I'm cool. Like, no, I want to be in tune because ain't nobody gonna teach my son like I'm gonna teach him. And so those are responsibilities as a community. I get all the time. They always asking me, "What you doing for the community?" I said, "Well, if you paying attention, I'm doing a lot. I'll put my own dollars where my mouth is. I'm like, hey, if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. I'm trying to bring my audio engineer program to Wyandotte County. I didn't want to start it anywhere else. I wanted to do it in Wyandotte County first. The question that the people on the board asking me is, how much he getting paid?
What does that matter?
I wrote a curriculum for the kids that where I'm from. A black man writing a curriculum for audio engineering that's certified through UCM. That, you know what I'm saying, they get certification through UCM. They can be certified Pro Tools engineers, and they can be a business person. They can be an entrepreneur. I'm teaching them something that they want to do. But you questioning me about, and y'all got all this money that y'all spending on programs that they don't even want to do. Yeah. But the first question you ask is, you count my pockets. Like, how is it giving back? And I'm like, what y'all want me to do? Just see, that's what our own sometimes get twisted. Like, you think I'm just supposed to like, oh, here, take all my money, and then I'm left with nothing. It just don't make sense. Like, I'm doing this. Everything that I do is for the kids. I'm not doing this to make money, but something's got to help sustain what we're building. And so you can't take it like I'm trying to steal from are we paying him that much? No, I mean, this is about the kids. This is about the program. This is about how we giving back. What's going to change their life to be able to make money that y'all may not have been able to make. So
that's the problem in Wyandotte County, man. I mean, with the school district and everything, man, they got to do a better job all the way around the board, man, because our kids need it, man. They talk bad about the kids, but the kids don't got no avenues. The kids don't got no, you're not giving them the resources. Kids, they want structure. They really do want structure. But you got to have a plan in place for them. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a plan. And they know when you want some bull. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. With the kids that I had, I was like, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to fluff with you. I'm not going to fake with you. This is what it is. And they respect that. They're like, tell me the truth. I can deal with the truth better than I can deal with you trying to hustle me and telling me, You know, I let them be too. I'm not over here pressing them like, don't do that. You're not. Makes you a bad kid. We were kids at once. You know, let me try to guide them in the right direction by just being there for them when they need me.
Yeah.
You know, that's most important.
Especially in our community, man. We as Black men, we have to be present. You know what I'm saying? We have to be more present. We got, even with what we're doing, we got to do more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I'm with it.
yeah.
I'm with it.
Yep.
Joe, we ain't gonna hold just so before we get out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Give me your Mount Rushmore of R&B.
Woo!
Male.
What's that, 4?
Yeah.
Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
Donny Hathaway.
Okay.
Oh, you going back.
Good music too.
Oh,
Stevie.
Damn.
yeah. Stevie got some.
You made me want to bust out some brown liquor and a cigar. I want to put out, slide up a cigar. Shit, some brown liquor.
Man, that's a tough one because it's like I can keep going, but man, if I could do the double face, it would be Michael and Prince.
No Luther.
I wasn't a bit. I love Luther. Luther, like that was like more of my dad. My dad loved Luther.
Yeah.
But was Luther that guy? He was that guy for sure.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, Sam Cooke. You know, like I look, you know, like the voices of the time, man. Like just those are like things that I grew up on, and I just like now I'm respecting it even more. Like, man, this is the music and the quality and the substance that these dudes worked out of. It was crazy. You know, Mike and Prince for the culture, man. They just
amazing,
iconic, man. And I couldn't leave them out. But James Brown was one of mine.
Yeah.
You know, like just changed the narrative of music. You know, and politically too. You know, so
Okay.
that's tough, man. That's tough.
Mount Rushmore R&B female.
Woo! Okay. Diana Ross. Whitney.
Ooh, Whitney. I was just listening to a couple of her songs.
Whitney.
I forgot all about her too.
Dang. Diana Ross, Whitney. Nina Simone.
It's a good one.
And who else? Oh, my girl. I love me some Patti LaBelle.
Oh,
I love my Patti, man. I
Yeah.
love my Patti, man.
Definitely.
I'm a big Aretha Franklin.
Oh, I forgot Aretha. How could I forget Aretha?
I like Anita Baker.
Anita Baker is my
Yes.
Oh my God, that's
She's
my
still on my
girl.
playlist right now.
Man, I love
We could go on and on with this
Man.
stuff, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Anita.
But I'm gonna say this before we get out of here. We're proud of you. One thing I can say, I know you personally, for over 20 plus. No matter what you've done and how successful you've been, you never switched up.
Yeah.
You always been the same. You always been real. You know what I'm saying? That's why you get the love you got. You know what I'm saying? And wherever it is, you know what I'm saying? I will never not. You can't say nothing about Joe, you know, in my presence, because I know for a fact with all the success you had, you still support the dot, you still support the town, and you never switched up on nobody, no matter if they was high or they reached a low point. You know what I'm saying, in life. You always stay the same, and you always get back, and you always help. And I just want to say, I appreciate that, my brother.
Man, I love
Appreciate
you.
it too.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.
It's the vet right here, baby. I don't know about the vet. Y'all better figure it out, man.
Where I get the name from? They call me the vet.
Vet, baby.
And then now I got it tattooed on.
Yeah, it's the vet, baby.
Started that, man. Don't start that. Yeah, that's what's up, though, man. But like I said, we appreciate him for being here. We'll be back next week with a good show. Tap in. Once again, appreciate all the subscribers.
Before we go, I can't forget. He always had a cool whip. Don't even get twisted. He always had a cool whip somewhere. When he was in high school, like he gonna pull up and say, "Always was fresh." But he got clothes on. What's we doing, boy?
What you had, Rose? What you had? That Roadmaster?
That Rose Chevy or Impala.
Yeah.
A couple cars.
On the Chrome with 17 nines?
Yeah.
No, I'll forget, baby. I'll forget.
Yeah, had me with though, man. But fast shout out though, man. Like I said, once again, we appreciate Joe joining us, man. It was a blessing, man, to be able to hear it, man.
Thanks out coming with us. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you for welcoming us in this beautiful place that you have here.
Thank you, man.
And we look forward to having you back on soon.
Anytime, man. You know my door is always open, man. So always, man. Wyandotte County to the death, man. You know. Shouts out, man. Appreciate y'all 100%.
Yes, sir. We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah. Peace.
Shit.